And I read that for the debut album you wrote, I don't know if you wrote or had so many ideas, but hundreds of ideas or wrote hundreds of songs.
Yeah, yeah. It was like 200, 250 songs, something
Right.
like that.
So did you do that again for what is coming now?
No, this time around I mean, I had a lot of ideas for sure, but it was so much easier for me to know, okay, this song is right, or put it aside and move on, you know. So because the first round, the first album, we finished so many songs, and it was great, but it was really exhausting.
Right.
When you know you're trying to finish something you already don't love, that is like, nah, don't do that.
So your heart's not in it. And
Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting because that first go round, I was trusting a lot of people I didn't know very well, you know, and I was leaning on experience, and it was good for me, you know, it was good. And I learned to like really finish songs, and that can be a hard thing to do sometimes, or like how to make songs better that are already done. And so there was a lot of that for me that I went, okay, I know how to apply that to exactly what I want to do. And now I can go in with guys who I really love, who maybe haven't written that much, but they do a very specific thing. That's like, I know how to get what I need from that to go like, oh, no, no. And then we'll go here and here, and it's like, oh. So we all get to learn from each other, you know?
right. And La Mission, I don't know if I pronounced it right.
Oh,
But
my studio.
Yeah, so what role in what you described now
Oh, I love
does
that.
play? Play?
Okay, so for me, what that is like, I came from nothing, and there are a lot of other bands and artists who like maybe need a place to stay, or a place to record, or just a place to drink a beer after they've been traveling all day. But for me, it was like I got so much stuff for free. I'm like really lucky, and I have a lot of amazing friends. But that for me is what kind of what it's all about. So I really just want it to be almost like an art hostel or something, you know, where people can come and stay, but they know that anybody who comes through will be somebody that you want to be around, because everybody's like trying to support the bigger vision, which is just artists have to support each other. And that's where, you know, it's still certainly in the early stages, and I try to keep it very word of mouth, but it's been really cool. I've already had some really great people come through.
Were you creative there for this new album?
So no,
Okay.
I did the entire first album in this like, in a room in a warehouse that's about the size of like that closet probably. And so I would bring the guys in, or I would go write a little bit in LA and then bring it back to Nashville. And the whole time, because I had just finished the album when I found this new place, or just finished the writing for it anyway. So there was a lot of that this whole series of events where a bunch of stuff happened at my studio, and I was like, okay, I can't be here anymore. I just need my own place. And along the way, I thought, what if it could be something bigger, something that wasn't just about me, that it was about like more people and more people. And so that, you know, that for me is like thinking about the next album.
Okay.
You know, an album ahead, and just going, okay, well, I've got what I need to bring people in and stay and just keep working on music, where it's not really even about the albums, but it's more about keeping the art moving, yeah.
Okay, so you start writing, and you have somewhat of a vision, or quite a clear vision in many ways.
Yeah.
You brought out an EP which has a lot of eclectic songs on it. So was that part of that vision of yours, that a lot of diversity?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's like, what is alternative music? What is, you know, what does your friend's playlist look like? You know, can you move back and forth seamlessly between songs in a good playlist? So for me, a lot of it was like, I went in with producer Jay Joyce to help me really tie things together, and then Dan Gretsch mixed it in London, and I worked really closely with both of them, you know, over a very long period of time to just get everything. In my mind, it all sounds like me, and it feels like me, and if you have that bass line, then it's something I know my fans will appreciate.
And in terms of the lyrics then, the themes, were they specific to a certain period of your life, or?
Yeah, and some of them were much more like, some of them are more general, more kind of bird's eye, and then some of them are very, very specific and more intimate, you know. And all I know is like, this is just what I keep making, and I need that intimacy and that sensuality, and I also need that gritty, ragey shit to keep my head in a good place, you know.
But had you always been able to do that, to bare your soul in that way, or to open up to so many people in that way?
I think I used to do it kind of fake.
Okay.
Or you know, I mean, I guess as you get older, you just learn shit, you know, or you go through more and you realize, oh, I know what I was saying there, but I can say it better now. And that for me is where I feel comfortable on both sides, because I like to be gentle and emotional and passionate, but I also like to fight and argue and headbang and shit, so yeah.
It's interesting that you mentioned kind of the famous, in what it's like now. I wrote down, I became your favorite pretender. I don't know if maybe it has something to do with something else, but is that kind of what you were talking about?
Well, I think that for me, that song in particular is, a lot of it is very reflective, you know, and it's knowing where I am now and going, like, who did you think I was, you know, and having to deal with that. Oh yeah, I had myself fooled, I had other people fooled, you know, and the songs are still important to me, but I also just know who I am now, and I'm very comfortable there.
Was that just a gradual realization, or was there something that kind of turned things around for you?
It was really song by song.
Okay.
I mean, there was a point where I went, fuck it, I need to start fresh. And then as I kept writing and writing, it's almost like a diary, you know, or a journal where you're having to like log your events, and you come back and you go, whoa, I forgot about that, but I knew I wrote it down for a reason, and it's because I know what I need to say now. And so that's where a lot of that does feel really personal to me.
With that in mind then, because can I assume the album is already done, or are you still working on it?
Yeah, the album's done.
Okay.
The album's done, yeah.
So this period where it's done and you can't really release it yet, but what is that like, this kind of limbo period?
Well, for me, because I took some time away, I wanted people hearing the music to get a better sense of like, I wanted people hearing the music to get a better sense of where the album's headed, and just go, oh, okay, I'm kind of hearing where the album's gonna land, or just getting that landscape. And so yeah, that's why I've been putting stuff out song by song, and I'm gonna put the album out, but I want people to know where it's going, so it's not just shoved out there, and it's just much easier, it's much simpler song by song, I feel like. You know?
And people can grow with it a little bit.
Yeah. Just kind of go, oh, I kind of see where this could go, and then be able to put the album out. And also, it buys me time to make more music for when the album's done.
Right. Final question then. I think the album is going to be called Fame.
Yes.
With kind of what we talked about earlier, it seems like you're almost trying to distance yourself from fame a little bit. So where did that title come from?
I mean, I don't want to spoil it.
Well, if you don't want to spoil it, then
But I mean, the title really comes from the idea. It's like, what is fame? What is it really? It's like, what does it get you that you don't already have? You know, other than eyes. And it's not, fame is not real. It's not a real thing. It's just like, oh, people appreciating other people, but then it turning into something that is a strange thing, is really wild. And I think that's what drove a lot of my, is that question I kept coming back to, is like, what is it, why is it? And I wrote a lot of the album from that perspective.
Well, looking forward to the album.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you.